So since its release in 2012, Spicebomb has been one of the most popular and polarizing fragrances ever created. And since then, there's been a handful of flankers and limited editions also released. Well, it's 2019 and Viktor&Rolf decided to release another flanker. Let's check out Spicebomb Night Vision. Stay right there. Alright guys, so today we're going to do another unboxing, first impressions, and update video. And like I mentioned before, this is the latest release from the house of Viktor&Rolf, Spicebomb Night Vision. So Spicebomb Night Vision is an Oriental Fougere fragrance released in 2019. The noses behind this fragrance are Nathalie Lorson and Pierre Negrin. It is an Eau de Toilette concentration. Alright, let's check out the presentation. Alright guys, so here is the box for Spicebomb Night Vision. Sorry for any reflection, but as you can see it is very reminiscent to the other boxes in the line. Just has some green here at the bottom, kind of fading up to a dark gray or black. I can't really see that well if it's dark gray or black, but looks like a dark gray from here. Has some silver on the back with some information. This is a 90 ml bottle that runs for $98. Let's check out the bottle. Alright guys, so here is the bottle for Spicebomb Night Vision. As you can see, it keeps the same color scheme as the box. Green at the bottom, fading up to a black. Keeps the signature Spicebomb little tassel here for the grenade. Does look just like the other bottles, so not too much going on with this bottle. Alright, so here are the notes for Spicebomb Night Vision. In the top we have green cardamom, green mandarin, grapefruit, and Granny Smith apple. In the mid we have black chili, black pepper, clove, nutmeg, sage, and geranium. And in the base we round things off with roasted almonds, tonka bean absolute, and woody notes. Alright, so I try to stay away from the comments section on Fragrantica on this one. I didn't read too much about this and I really wanted to go in fresh. I do kind of see why they picked the green with the black, because there is green cardamom, green mandarin, and Granny Smith apples I think are green. And also for the black there's black chili and black pepper. So kind of makes sense maybe for that, but I'm not really sure. But I'm looking forward to trying this one. Don't know what to really expect. The green cardamom sounds really good. The grapefruit and Granny Smith apple means it's going to be fruity, maybe sweet and fresh. But looks like it's going to be spicy with the clove and the black chili and the black pepper. So it might be a fresh spicy. It does say Oriental Fougere, so maybe a little barbershoppy. I'm not really sure. So let's take our first impressions. All right, here we go. Clean hand. Pull the tab there. Good sprayer as always. Okay. Yeah, very heavy on the green apple. Wow, this is very tart, very sharp green apple. Some of the woody notes in this are kind of giving it a bit of a freshness like a Sauvage, but it's not smelling sour like that. It just has like that real sharp freshness. This really is reminding me of another fruity fragrance on top. I can't really remember which one at the moment. Maybe it'll hit me in a little bit, or at least in the update. But yeah, this opening is nice. It's very crisp. It's very sharp. Green apple. The green cardamom is making it a little thick, a little creamy. Definitely getting the spices. I'm getting the black pepper, the black chili, I guess. I don't really know what chili smells like, but I'm definitely getting the black pepper because it is spicy. A little bit of that clove. I'm sure that'll come out here in a little bit more after some time goes by. But I'm definitely getting a lot of the mid notes, which are more the spicy notes. Yeah, I'm getting that grapefruit as well. So that grapefruit and the apple are going to be a nice combination on top. It's very fresh. It's very fruity. It's very sharp. It's got some bite to it. That's probably from the spices. But the cardamom gives it a bit of a creaminess, which kind of gives it a bit of a sexy vibe, at least to my nose. Whenever I smell cardamom in a fragrance, it always makes me think sexy. I'm getting a bit of like, almost the opening sort of reminded me of like sort of the way an aquatic fragrance kind of starts off with like the fresh notes. But it's not a bad thing. It's definitely spicier than an aquatic fragrance. Just that opening really does remind me of like an aquatic kind of opening with the grapefruit and the sweetness. But there's definitely no aquatic notes here. Usually around this point of the fragrance, I'll start to get aquatic notes, but this one does not have them. It really is just a fruity, fresh opening, citrusy with the apple note. And a lot of spice. More black pepper than all the others. A little bit of that nutmeg. The clove isn't as like medicinal or bad clove. It's not as bad as I would expect in some other fragrances. It's sort of blended pretty well. It's in the background. I'm definitely getting the woody notes because they're sort of, I can get some woodiness in there, but they're in the background. I definitely don't get any like Spicebomb DNA. There's not the pink pepper or the tobacco or the cinnamon in this. So right now I'm not getting any kind of like comparison at all to Spicebomb. But this is a good fragrance. I could see this formula in a different bottle, maybe a different line, maybe a fragrance of its own. I don't see the Spicebomb name being put on this one right now, but it is fresh, that's for sure. Yeah, it's a nice, fresh, and spicy fragrance, so if you guys like fresh and spicy. But right now, it's not really blowing me away. It's been done before. I really can't think of an exact fragrance this reminds me of, but I know I've smelled this type of formula before. But it's not bad. It's like I said, it's not blowing me away, but I do like it. This is definitely quality juice. This is an eau de toilette. It does smell like it might have a little lasting power because it's very sharp. It's very bright. Smells like it has it's only been a few minutes, obviously, but it smells like it has a little bit of bite to it. Like it might stick around for a little bit, but obviously, time will tell. Yeah. Liking the opening so far. Like I said, it's not really original, but it's good. If I can remember what this reminds me of, I could definitely let you guys know. I'm sure it'll be in the update now at this point because it's not really hitting me. But yeah, that green apple's kind of slowly going away. And I'm left with more of a slightly less green apple, less citrusy fragrance, but the woody notes are popping more. And that pepper's really kicking, so it's very spicy. This isn't like a mature pepper. It's more just enough to kind of let you know that it's spicy. It's kind of keeping that going. If you want to use the name Spicebomb because of all the spices in this, then that totally makes sense. It is spicy for sure. Yeah, the fresh notes are dying off right now. It's been maybe 3 or 4 minutes. But the fresh notes are disappearing. Still there enough to keep my attention. But it's dying fast. I'm really left with slightly sweet, slightly fruity, spicy fragrance at this point. I'm guessing the tonka and the roasted almonds are going to come later on because they are in the base, so they'll probably kind of blend in a little bit later, maybe give us a little treat towards the end of the fragrance. But yeah, right now I like this one. It's like I said, not groundbreaking, but it's not bad. It smells nice. Doesn't remind me of the original, which is kind of a shame. My favorite in the line is probably Spicebomb Extreme. That one smells pretty close to the original. But this is a flanker, so who knows. But I was expecting to get a little bit of the DNA in this, and right now I'm really not. This could definitely be its own fragrance with a whole different name, whole different bottle. But honestly, mentally, it does kind of do something to the fragrance, knowing that it's in a Spicebomb bottle. It's supposed to be a flanker, and right now, it doesn't really smell like it, but it does smell nice. So right now, fruity, fresh, and spicy is what I can really say about this one. I'm going to give this one a few wearings like I always do and give you guys an update shortly. Talk to you then. Alright, so I'm back with my update for Spicebomb Night Vision. Alright, so I got a chance to spend a few days with this fragrance, and I must say I do like it, but it is very generic, I must say. It's nothing groundbreaking like I mentioned in the first half of the video. In the opening, you do get a very, very strong green apple note, which is really nice. You get a lot of the grapefruit, and you got a lot of the mandarin, so it's very citrusy and fruity from the apple on top. So it's very nice. Unfortunately, it's been done before, minus the aquatic notes. The opening does remind me of like Icon Racing, Hawass, Invictus Aqua or Invictus, just kind of has that opening. Now, there's no aquatic notes in this, but if you can picture those openings of the fragrances I just mentioned, minus the aquatic notes, it kind of smells a lot like this one, which, is nice. Don't get me wrong. It just isn't, very original. It's sort of been done before. I didn't get any Spicebomb DNA at all in this one from start to finish. So I was a little disappointed in that. I was kind of hoping I would get something that was similar to, Spicebomb in there, but just enough for it to be different on its own. But really, this fragrance is just its own fragrance. It could be a completely different bottle. It's a different formula completely. It doesn't remind me of Spicebomb at all. I mean, it's not a bad fragrance. Like I said, I'm probably gonna say that a few more times. Not a bad fragrance. I just wasn't blown away by it. So the opening with the, the apple and the citruses and the pepper note kind of lasts for the first couple of hours, and it's really nice. And then it kind of fades out and gets a little, that apple note stays pretty prominent in there, which is nice. Then it gets pretty peppery and woody. And really what you're left with is like a gourmand kind of tonka bean scent, which is really nice. I wasn't expecting to get that in the dry down, but it really was a pretty strong tonka bean gourmand scent. Almost smells like a cookie in the dry down, which is pretty nice. And it blends pretty well with it, actually. It's almost kind of like it starts off fresh and fruity and it kind of goes into a gourmand kind of scent after a few hours, which was really nice. So longevity I got on this one was pretty average. It is an EDT, so I got about 6 hours. If you include a skin scent, it's about 8 hours, so 6 to 8 hours altogether. I got above average projection with this one in the first hour, and slowly got closer after that. I was still getting wafts of it, and a friend of mine was getting wafts of it after a couple of hours. So I venture to say you get a decent, good 2 hours of projection, and it sits pretty close after that. But you still get wafts here and there, so it's just going to be pretty average. Overall, it's going to be average projection. Occasions for this fragrance, I'm definitely going to say it's going to be work. I don't think it's be offensive enough, and I think it's mature enough with the spices to kind of lend it to a work setting. And it's not too loud, so it's not going to offend anybody. In the dry down, I think it'd definitely be good for date night, because that gourmand kind of tonka bean cookie smell that I got out of this one was really nice. It's pretty sexy. I'm sure the cardamom sort of lended that a little bit as well. But maybe date night. It's not going to be loud enough for a club. I think the seasons for this fragrance are going to be year round pretty much. But I definitely think the opening is good for the warmer weather. But the sexier scents when it dries down to that gourmand is going to be better for the cooler weather. Agents, I would say probably 20 to 25 and up, because that opening really is nice and sweet and fresh, fruity and youthful. But the dry down gets a little more mature with the spices and the gourmand notes. So I would definitely say 20, 25 and up. Overall, I'm going to say this is a good fragrance. It smells really nice, but I think for a lot of you guys who have owned similar fragrances, you're going to say, it's going to remind you too much of the ones that I mentioned before. It does kind of have that fresh, fruity opening, like Icon Racing and, Invictus Aqua and all those fragrances. Just the opening, just the fruitiness. Doesn't have the aquatic notes. But I think if when you get your nose on this one, you're going to be like, okay, it does kind of remind me of those, and I already own those. So it might be a redundant purchase. I can't recommend buying this one. I would definitely say try before you buy. I would say go to your local Nordstrom's. I believe that's where I bought this one, and get your nose on it. They do, let you get samples, and they have testers there available for testing. So get your nose on this one. I wouldn't say blind buy this one. I don't even think it'd be bottle worthy for me. It's a nice fragrance, but honestly, it's not really groundbreaking. It's been done before, and honestly, I think it might be a fail from Spicebomb just because they put the Spicebomb name on it. And it doesn't have anything to do with Spicebomb. It is spicy, but I don't get any of the DNA in there. And so when I see the Spicebomb name on something, I want it to actually kind of remind me of it just a little bit, but sort of go in its own direction. And unfortunately, this one does not do that. So has anyone out there tried Spicebomb Night Vision from the house of Viktor&Rolf? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know your experience with this fragrance down in the comments below. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching the video on my channel. If you like this video and want to see more videos like it, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider signing up for notifications by hitting that notification bell. That way when I upload new videos, you'll be the first to find out. Please follow me on Instagram, Dollars and Cents. Please like, comment, subscribe. And until the next video, you guys take care. Thanks.